Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of June 5th through June 9th, where we'll talk about our stocks, individual stocks, ETFs, etc. that we have on our top swing trading stocks to watch list. We'll also talk about what we have in our bullpen, our shopping list, etc., and also dividend payers and our option strategies for making money while we wait for better opportunities to present themselves. So let's get started. Welcome to Crow, Easy Mike, Ricky Khan. Thank you all for joining us in the live chat today. Hope you all are having a good weekend. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of June 5th through June 9th. Our notes documents are publicly accessible. You can find a direct link to our Google document with our notes for this week's weekly trading game plan in the description box below. We store our Google documents with our notes for all our weekly trading game plans in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to these notes as well as notes from our previous weekly trading game plans using the direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome, Flip of the Shippa. If I didn't catch Ricky Khan, thank you for joining us today. Hope you all are doing well. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled Is the AI Bubble About to Burst? We would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas, and our answer to the question, is the AI bubble about to burst, in that part 1 video. So we'd recommend you also view that if you have not already done so. So we'll start out and we'll review some of the trades we made this week. It was a pretty busy week from our standpoint. And we'll go over what we traded, and then we'll look at the charts for these trades so you can see where we entered or got stopped out in the charts in Webull as well. So the first one is we went long BDRY. BDRY is an ETF on dry bulk shipping. You'll see that appeared to have bottomed and bounced back up. So we went in long on 530 at 611. So you will look at the chart on that in a second. We also went long MP Materials. You know, we've been watching MP Materials for quite some time. So we finally went long on MP Materials on 6/1 at 2047. TROX, again, another one we've been watching for a while. This is that titanium nitrite and chemicals company we've been watching. Again, you can see our due diligence, our thesis behind some of these in the videos referenced in our notes. So again, you can hear why we like MP, why we like TROX, and our thesis and price targets for those in our due diligence and last week's weekly trading game plan. So we went long on TROX on 531 at 1099, and we'll see that finally pop back up. And then we got stopped out of our latest long position in UROI. UROI is one of the uranium stocks that we like and typically scalp swing trade. You can see we entered on 526 at 188. We got stopped out on 6/2 at 203. So we made a nice profit, about 7%, which equates to a monthly return ROI of about 34%. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this scalp trade in UROI. And as you'll see, we'll continue to do this rinse and repeat if we continue to see this sector rotation in and out of uranium. We've also been talking about wheat for some period of time. We've been watching the ETF WEAT to go long on wheat on a bounce. And we finally went long in WEAT on the 30th at 606. We're still in wheat, and hopefully it will continue to swing up. So you can, hear our previous thesis on wheat and why we some of the potential catalysts we hope will cause a upward swing trade in wheat. So again, we'll look at those in Webull in a second. Welcome, Nagem. Glad to see you as well. Thank you for joining us. Smoked Tuna. Good morning to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Just a reminder, if you'd like to get real-time alerts when we enter or exit a trade, you can get that via any level of our Patreon. We, as quickly as possible, send out email notifications to our Patreon members when we enter or exit a trade. Those also get posted into a couple channels in our Discord that I'll show you that our Patreon members have access to. Again, I don't recommend you follow us or anyone else blindly into trades, but it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career to see, when we're entering and exiting positions and the logic behind that. You can get that information via joining any level of our Patreon, and you can find a link to our Patreon in the description box below, and also I just put that up in the banner. So we've got a couple alerts channels that our Patreon members have access to. The first one has automatic postings from price alerts I set up in Thinkorswim. So those get automatically triggered and posted to this Thinkorswim channel. And then if we follow that up with an actual trade, or in this case, you can see when we got stopped out, it posted to the Thinkorswim channel. And then I followed that up once that order actually filled. So again, some of these, it'll show you 52-week lows, etc. So I have additional price alerts in Thinkorswim that also get posted there that help you see support levels, resistance levels, etc., and several of the others. If it's a trade not necessarily based on a Thinkorswim price alert, then I would post it directly into the trade alerts channel, and then there's also automatic follow-up from our Patreon notifications that get posted in that trade alerts channel. So again, if you'd like that information, if it would help you make money trading, succeed in your trading career, you can get that via any level of our Patreon. Okay, so we'll quickly go over each of those trades in Webull. Look at the charts. So BDRY, you can see we went in at 611. You can see it, it was achieving some level of support. It did dip below that level, and then it looks like it's recovering. So again, hopefully we'll get a continued upward swing in BDRY. It's got plenty of upside. Looks like, a pretty good bounce there off that support level. MP Materials. Again, we were watching that 22.21. It did come back down and bounce back up. Again, we went in at 20.47. I was watching the level 2s. It looked like it had some larger orders. So again, we popped up in there. You can also see right now I've got I manually placed trailing stops below the support level. So right now you can see I've got a trailing stop sitting right below that pivot point, that R2 pivot point. So we'll see if MP continues upward. Again, I'll manually continue to adjust that stop, trailing it by at least one level of pivot points, and follow it up, continue to take profit. If it rolls over, then we'll stop out and take profit. TROX, you can see it, bottomed out, made a nice bounce. So we came in at about 11 or so. And you see it had a big run up on Friday. So again, I've got a stop sitting just below that pivot point right now at 1138. And again, same theory. If it goes and achieves another pivot point, then I'll move it up, another level. UROI, we can see we got in at 188 back in here when it started to rise, broke through the VWAP, had a nice run up. Got a high pre-market and then rolled over. So when it breached that pivot point, we got stopped out, took our profit. We'll see if it's going to continue to trail back down. And if so, we'll rinse or repeat and scalp and swing trade UROI, which is the uranium. Wheat, again, looks like it bottomed out, made a nice bounce. So again, we got in long. I was probably a little bit late. Probably a little early. I tend to be early, which again is why we try to give our Patreon members, some time to get a better price, than maybe I got in. Again, my tendency is to get in early. rather than late. So, we probably got in a little early on wheat. I got in on the 30th. So there's the 30th. And it did dip back down and then bounce back up nicely. Again, I've got a stop sitting there below that pivot point, and we'll see if it continues upward. Otherwise, we'll take our profit, our small profit here, and then we'll, try to get a lower price again if wheat trails off down. So let me grab a drink and catch up with the chat, and we will look at our bullpen stocks for the week. Good morning, Walter Lyons. Thank you for joining us. Easy Mike talking about the rotation back into military and healthcare once the debt ceiling deal got done. Okay, so we'll look at what we have in our real-time watch list for this week, our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Again, we're removing the ones that we're already long in. Again, might be some opportunities for you to still get in some of these, even potentially at a better price than we got. So first we're taking BDRY off as we're already long BDRY. DNN we've been watching, and you'll see in the chart it's gone up with the sector rotation back into uranium. Again, if we see a rotation out of uranium, we like DNN. We still like UROY. Those are our two uranium plays that we prefer. IPI is an interesting one. That's our potash play, and I had removed that from the watch list as it was continuing to break down, so I took it out of our watch list on the 31st. And when we saw that IPI had popped back up in our ETF spreadsheet yesterday, and I know Easy Mike's been asking about, when to get back into potash, well, this might be the time. We'll look at the chart. We'll see if it holds. So I added that back into our watch list when I saw that it had popped back up in our ETF spreadsheet on Friday. So it looks like it may have achieved some support finally. You can hear our short video on why we like IPI as a potash play in this the link in our notes. Again, our notes contain bonus links to videos, tools, etc., resources in addition. The other one we've been talking about for a while, we've swung scalp this before, is the rotation into coal. So we saw in the group sectors that coal had a good day also on Friday. It gets a boost from energy, also basic materials. So I checked out METC. Looks like that might be an opportunity to play that sector rotation in and out of coal again. So we'll put METC back on our watch list as well. We're already long MP. OPP we've been watching for a while. That's that fixed income bond play. It's still a little high, but with the deluge of treasuries hitting the market, I'm not sure exactly what impact that's going to have on OPP or the fixed income funds or the treasuries. There's a lot of discussion as to, where is the money going to come from to buy the deluge of treasuries that's going to hit the market now that the debt ceiling deal's been resolved. So I want to keep an eye on that and see if we get a significant dip in OPP that might give us an opportunity. So you can hear my thesis of when to buy and not buy OPP in this link to this bonus video here in the notes as well. SATs we've been watching, the satellite EchoStar Corporation. You can hear our due diligence on SATs. SOXS, we've been talking about, the potential scalps when semiconductors finally peaks out and exhausts. And we talked last week about how to watch for a bottom in SOXS using the top in SOXL. So, we're looking for that top. And yesterday we saw it had bounced off the upper trend line, provides some resistance. We'll see if we get a repeat of that. If it does bounce up and hits the previous top resistance line or that trend line and bounces down, we might take a short-term scalp in SOXS. TROX, we talked about, we're already long TROX. USOI I added back in. We saw oil kind of took a dip. It dipped below 70 briefly. It didn't dip back down to that 65 level. So it did go below 70, didn't go down to the previous low, and then it bounced back up on the OPEC meeting. And the latest news I hear out of the OPEC meeting is there's some disagreements. I guess one of the reps walked out, so we'll see if they do a further cut or if there's some disagreement in OPEC that does not allow them to cut further. And it might cause an increase in supply if they can't come to some agreement. So we'll keep an eye on what happens to oil tomorrow. If it does dip below 70, down to potentially get a wick down lower, we'd love to get a big chunk of USOI, pays a nice monthly dividend. You can also, day trade, short-term trade oil with gush and drip, gush long, drip short. And we'll take wheat off as we're already long wheat. So just another quick reminder, if I update, well, firstly, our Patreon members have access to an automatically generated web page that also includes our price targets for each of these stocks on our watch list and in our bullpen, including dividend information, optionality information, etc. That gets updated, regenerated every day. So if you'd like that level of information on our watch list, as well as any intra-week updates to our watch list, you can get that via any level of our Patreon. And if I make any more frequent changes, we post those into a stock watch list channel into our Discord that our Patreon members also have access to. So again, if you'd like more frequent updates on our watch list, you can get that free via any level of our Patreon. So I'm on the online browser version of Webull. You saw a minute ago, they're offering, 12 free fractional stocks worth $3,000 to $3,000 each. Yesterday, we also saw, and that's for depositing any amount. We also saw they're offering additional $10 if you use their Smart Advisor AI tool with at least $100, and they're offering a 5% APY on uninvested cash. So a number of bonuses. They're waiving transfer reimbursements and complimentary level 2 quotes. So again, Webull's, our favorite trading platform for our stock analysis, due diligence, the vast majority of our trading. So if you're not already using Webull, we would appreciate it if you'd use our affiliate link, help support the channel, and also get up to 12 free stocks and all those other bonuses with Webull. Again, I'm using the online browser version of Webull. Another nice thing is you can have all kinds of different watch lists in Webull. So we'll quickly look at some of these charts. So as you see, here's DNN. It really popped up. I guess I should really buy DNN around $1. The previous low is about 91, but you can see that dollar level is pretty significant support on DNN. So it looks like I need to buy that around $1. You can see a barcode's right around $1. It's got pretty good support at that level. And it doesn't, move very quickly in general. And then when it moves, it moves pretty rapidly. So plenty of upside potential in DNN up to 150. So we'll see if we get a rotation back out of uranium, and if so, we might take DNN and or UROY. So IPI, as we mentioned, it had been just declining, just eroding down. Looks like it finally achieved a level of support around that 1725 or so. It bounced up with the rotation back into basic materials on Friday. So we'll see if we get a quick retracement, if that support's going to hold. And if so, we'll swing potash using IPI. You can see it's been declining for quite a period of time, so it's got plenty of potential upside. So shorter term into the low 30s, longer term, up into the high 50s. METC, that coal play, you can see where that 726 level is a pretty good support level. It bounces up pretty nicely, so get a couple dollar appreciation, 250 or so. Again, that level looks like that's a pretty good support level. It tends to bounce off of that level pretty good. Does pay a dividend. It just went ex-dividend, so that's part of the decrease, but it bounced pretty nicely right after that. So that's one too where I got a thinkorswim price alert, and that's caused me to go look at it, see what was going on, and consequently we added that back into our watch list. Here's OPP. Again, I'd like it around 8 or below. It's popped up again recently. Again, fears of the debt ceiling. Debt ceiling got resolved. It popped back up. So we'll see if it comes back down based on that deluge of treasuries or not. Sats, again, it's just been kind of hovering above, our price target. Again, it gets a little bit of boost with technology. The satellite company, we'll see there's, pretty significant resistance point. So we'll see if it bounces off of that. It looks like it got rejected before, bounced down, didn't quite come down, got, got pretty good support at that next level and bounced back up. So talked about SOXL and SOXS last week. We also looked at the charts in FinViz. You see, what a run semiconductors has had. It retraced a little bit the past couple days, so we'll see if it tests that previous high. There's another higher high up here. Looks like 2534 or so. So we'll see if it tests that previous high, and if so, we might look at a scalp in semiconductors using SOXS. Again, you want to be careful to see how much strength NVIDIA, AMD, etc. have, and what kind of push they might make to make a new higher high. But again, SOXS is leveraged ETF, so it's going to naturally erode to some degree over time. So again, I want to use SOXL as the peak in SOXL as the indicator as to when I want to enter SOXS. So I hope that all helps. UROI, again, we looked at. We want to see, it rolls over and comes back down, where it gains support again. And USOI is oil. Again, we want to see, around 70 looks to be pretty good support. 70.07, I think, was a previous low. And then its lowest point was about 64.83. So, but that, around 70 level seems to be a pretty good support as well. So I hope that all helps. To our bullpen stocks, for anyone who's new to our channel, the concept of the bullpens, ones we're not watching, in real time, but I revisit them. They look like they might have a potentially positive setup in the near term, so I put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves, we move them up, put them in the game, move them up to our real-time watch list. If they run away or break down, then we just take them out of the bullpen. Again, I just revisit these at the end of each day. The ones we currently have in our bullpen, I had put METC in our bullpen and then pretty quickly moved it up into the game. So you see I added it to the bullpen on 531, put it in the game at 6-1 when it seemed to gain support and bounce off that support level. And last week we talked about watching the Nikkei using both EZJ, which is the long ETF on the Nikkei on Japan, and we're watching for a peak, for it to peak out, hit a top, and then we would go short the Nikkei, short Japan using EWV, and we'll look at the charts for those in a second. Let me grab a drink a second. We'll look at our bullpen. Okay, again, so here's EZG, EZJ. So this is the long on Japan, long on the Nikkei. You see it's making new highs. So again, we don't really know where the top is yet on it. You know, it's breaking out. We'll want to see where that tops out and find, you know, a good resistance level. And in that case, we'll look at seeing if we can go long or actually short the Nikkei, short Japan using EWV. You see right now it's just, you know, deteriorating, breaking down as EZJ continues to make higher highs. You can also see it's pretty low float, very choppy, so it'll be, you know, potentially tricky to trade. But, you know, it looks like, you know, the Nikkei's having quite a run. At some point, should top out and roll over. Guys are having a good discussion. So you're talking about Albemarle. Easy Mike says he looks through a bunch of Excel files on Sundays. Yep. Weekends are a good time to look for new opportunities. Welcome Mods 113. Thank you for joining us. So our shopping list, again, we recommend you always have a shopping list of stocks you always wanted to own, given an opportunity. It would be an irrational reaction to earnings, irrational decline in the markets, you know, or negative reaction to maybe the treasury thing, deluge of treasuries hitting the market. Have your list ready of stocks you want to buy in any of those events. And right now, you know, we're just recommending that you call that shopping list based on, you know, high interest rates, high debt, potential increasing interest rates is, you know, beware of zombie stocks, zombie companies, those that, you know, can barely service their debt. And again, they're not making money really. They're just servicing their debt, and their debt increasing with interest rates increasing. So again, just a quick reminder, we're not financial advisors. This should not be considered financial advice, as should none of our content. All of our content's for education and entertainment purposes only. Welcome, Ellen Krantz. The Crow is asking about quad witching. We'll probably talk about quad witching coming up. When we look at our puts ROIC, I believe the next, I believe quad witching is on 6/16. I think that's the options expiration. And yeah, we could talk about quad witching. We've talked about that before. It's increased potential for increased volatility around any quad witching. So now we'll take a look at our dividend payers Google Sheet. So if anyone has any questions about particular dividend paying stocks, or if you're looking for something, someone yesterday was asking about some dividend paying recommendations. I apologize if I missed who was asking about that. So if you do have some questions about dividend payers, I've been piling into dividend payers while the market's been kind of just choppy, range bound. So we're collecting money on dividend payers while we wait and for other opportunities to deploy our capital. That's one of the strategies. The other is, the option strategies we'll talk about in a minute. And our all access and VIP Patreons have access to this Google Sheet every day. We're 24/7. It gets automatically updated at the end of the day based on our automated systems. And then it also has the current price information from Google Finance functions. So if you're looking for opportunities for dividend payers, you can see the risk reward profiles, the adjusted yield. So that will tell you, in addition to just the dividend payment, we've got the dividend percentage, what the declared dividend is, the dates of the dividend. Again, all this collected by our automated systems and then updated at the end of the day. And then we can quickly spin through that if we're looking for any type of dividend payer. You can filter this Google Sheet based on whatever criteria you want to use, whether you want monthly dividend payers, if you want to filter by a particular percentage yield or percentage adjusted yield, etc. Again, you can filter this quite easily to find whatever dividend paying stocks that might fit your situation, your needs, etc. I know, several of the favorites is, we're long. We've been long GLDI, SLBO for a long time. I know JEPI, JEPQ are some favorites. I've been watching this junk to see if it's going to come down. Here you can see METC pays a small dividend quarterly. Someone was asking about dividend payers in addition to O. So O is realty income. I've been keeping an eye on that. It's below 60. We'll see if we want to potentially go back into O. It's a nice monthly dividend payer. Got decent appreciation. You can see there's OPP. Also, we added the industry and got a breakdown so we can see what category these fall into, if that's a category you'd be interested in. So again, I'll let you peruse this in UAN. I believe Easy Mike likes UAN. It's an agricultural play. It has been paying a very large dividend. Easy Mike's talking about REM, so there's another potential dividend payer. So again, you can peruse this. I have been watching that TLTW as well. Here's also one on Tesla we've talked about. It's a Tesla yield one, monthly dividend payer. And that TLTW I've been keeping an eye on. We'll see how it gets affected with the treasuries. So again, you can peruse this if you want us to do research on any other dividend payers, or if you have any questions, you can contact us in the Discord or directly via any social media. So again, just in the Discord, just tag us. We're at BeachBum Trading. We're ID 7313, except no imposters. So it doesn't look like we have any imposters right now, which is good. So again, if you'd like us to do the research, we have a research tab, so I can, look for the support resistance on any of these. And then if they fit our risk reward profiles, then we can put them on the main dividend payers watch list. So I hope that helps. So again, if you have any other questions, want us to look at any others, just let us know. Again, we've added dividend hikes and now dividend cuts, both in the investing channel. So we get automatic feeds from dividend hikes and dividend cuts in our investing channel. So you can see those hikes and cuts automatically, and it's a free channel in our Discord. Our Discord's free to join. It's only the few channels that I mentioned earlier that are exclusive to our Patreon members, and you can find a invite to our Discord in the description box below. Also on our homepage in the links section. Homepage is beachbumtrading.com. Again, there's an invite to our Discord, also our other communities, Reddit, Facebook, etc., and our other social media sites. So if you have any questions, many ways you can contact us. We have a whole series of videos on, how we've come up with this dividend payers, how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet, and you can see all those videos and how to find the best dividend paying stocks on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, and also via this link in the notes. So we hope that helps. Now we'll briefly talk about some of our option strategies. Again, additional strategies to make money while you wait. If you've got excess capital, not doing anything, here's ways, again, you can make additional income using option strategies. Our two option strategies are selling covered calls against positions that we own and then buying them back cheaper, or selling, in our case, cash secured puts, as most of our trading's in retirement accounts, and then buying those back cheaper, particularly when the market's declining. Then we're looking at selling puts. When the market's going up, we look at buying them back. So again, opportunities any day. When the market's going up, I'm looking at selling covered calls. Going down, I'm looking at buying them back. And you can hear how our evolution of all our option strategies in this series of videos on option strategies for beginners with examples. Got a link in the notes. You can also find our options playlist on our YouTube channel. So let me open our puts ROIC spreadsheet. So this is what I use to identify potential opportunities for selling cash secured puts, or you can use it to sell, non-cash secured puts if you so choose. We'd see Friday, there weren't a lot of opportunities to sell puts as the markets were mostly up. We saw NVIDIA did retrace some, but the premiums on those puts isn't very attractive. I did take off my put on Tesla, so I canceled that one. Tesla was going up, and the premiums just weren't very attractive. Again, the Crow was talking about quad witching, so we've got quad witching on 616. Very soon I might look at rolling some of these puts and start doing the research based on July, which I think the date's July 21st. Still got one open on Amazon. We've sold one on Disney. It's Disney's going back up, so I'm looking at buying that one back. Moderna's still going up. I've got an open one on Moderna and on TQQQ right now. So again, this is all data collected from our automated systems, and then this gets updated at the end of each day. Also the research tab, if I happen to see anything that's attractive, I'll move that up to the watch list. I'm looking for potential of at least $1, or better, between the 52-week high and the high. I'd like to see the high up over $1 to start pursuing it typically. So again, if you'd like access to that puts ROIC spreadsheet, again, it's updated during the day so we can see who's moving up, who's moving down, and then the options data gets updated in the spreadsheet at the end of each day automatically. Yeah, FOMC is the 13th and 14th, Easy Mike, so the actual announcement and press conferences will be on the 14th. And we've got that in our part 1 notes as a upcoming event, and also the link to the FOMC meetings site, so you can always find out when the next FOMC meetings are going to be. So I hope that helps. Also, if you'd like us to do research on any puts, just let us know, and we can add that to the research tab. I can, find the support resistance, and then have our automated system collect the data for those options, and then post that for you in the Google Sheet. Again, our all access and VIP Patreons have 24/7 access to this Google Sheet as well. So again, those are the option strategies we're currently employing. We'll see if it's worthwhile pursuing any others. Obviously, my strategies for trading in general are relatively low risk. So I generally don't sell or buy. I generally don't buy options. I just buy them back. I generally don't sell naked options. Again, pretty low risk option strategies. So let me grab a drink, and if anyone has any questions or any stocks you want to look at today, got a few minutes we can talk about anything you all want to talk about in the chat. Let me grab a drink a second. If I missed your question previously, I apologize, and please throw it back up in the chat, and we can address it at this time. Okay, did I miss anything? You guys were talking about KRE and FAZ, which FAZ is short the banks, KRE is regional banks. We've talked about I'm not terribly interested in swinging the banks. Again, we're primarily swing traders, more long-term traders. There are, shorter-term day trade opportunities. I know some of you are very good short-term day traders, short-term scalpers. So and I try to point out where those opportunities are, where, again, low risk. I still think there's a pretty significant risk in the banking sector, and we're just not necessarily hearing about it. Again, increasing interest rates is going to have an impact, and also it's unclear. It depends where they take the money out to buy these treasuries as to what that may impact bank reserves. So we'll see where that money comes from and what impact that has on the banks. Okay, so if anyone has any subsequent questions, you can always put them in the comments to this video. You can always tag us in the Discord. Again, we can continue these discussions, 24/7 in our Discord. Our Discord's free to join. You can find a link in the description box below. Again, also on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U, in the link section, there's invites, etc. Also, again, all of our other social media sites and contacts. So again, we can continue these discussions, and we'd love to see more of our fellow traders, joining us in the Discord, having these discussions in the Discord. We hope you like this content. We hope you find it of value. If there's any ways we can make this content more valuable for you, please let us know. We're happy to do what we can to help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career. We hope you'll also share this, our channel, our BeachBum Trading channel, our Discord, etc., with your fellow traders. Again, our goal is to continue to grow the community. It's more mutually beneficial for everyone. The more people, the more traders we have helping each other out, all the time for success in your trading career. So again, let us know how we can assist in that. Otherwise, we hope that you have a great trading week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Again, thank you all for joining us, and we'll look forward to chatting with you next week, June 5th through June 9th. And good luck and have a great trading week. Thank you again for joining and for watching. Have a great weekend.